Hello, Professor Smith. This is Joe Ebel recording my response to one of my peers for the discussion board video, and I picked Lauren Sangrico, actually a friend of mine, someone that I have known personally for a couple years now. Went to high school, one of my friends from high school, but she did the same topic as me, and I guess more of this being responses is also going to be a rebuttal video to what she has said, because I am a person who likes to debate, and especially the fact that this is an economics class, there are debates in economics that are required to happen sometimes. So let's get started into this. First off, one of the arguments that she had stated was not arguments per se, but let's go ahead and stretch it as far as to a fact that she said that 40 million immigrants live in the United States currently. Out of those 40 million, 11 million of them are here illegally, which means that they do not have the proper means of documentation. They just kind of walked across the border, or they came here from Cuba, which we all know is a big problem. Not a problem per se because of the Cuban government and what happens in the Cuban government, but per se a problem because they can literally just walk onto the beach, per se, should they make it here on the Cuban rafts, which I'm sure that everyone has seen in their lifetime in one way or another. So 11 million of them are here illegally. And that brings into my next argument, because she brought up trackable immigration. She said that the 40 million was trackable. If I brought it up in my video that illegal immigration is not trackable, it's like an uncontrolled substance. If you leave plutonium, I'm going to go as far as to say is that if you leave plutonium on the counter, it is in an environment that is uncontrolled, because it is just out in the open. It's exposed to the everyday environment. If you put it in a container, then it is in a controlled environment. The beaker or the container is controlled per se. So that's why I have an argument about her saying the 40 million plus the 11 million that are here illegally, which I brought up as a fact in my video done by a professional study. And that is an untrackable one. Second argument is that she said the jobs are more stable. And I don't disagree with that, because if you have, the more people you have in a workforce, the more jobs that are going to have to be created, the more ideas that are out there, along with the educational purposes that she brought up. But the problem that I have with that is, once again, the language barrier that I brought up in my video. The language barrier still creates a problem there, because if you bring people in from another country to a country that primarily speaks English, there is going to be a problem in the workplace, because instead of focusing on doing your job, you are going to have to focus on trying to communicate with your employer or with your coworker before you can even start getting your job done, which brings down your efficiency.